Hey, everybody, thanks for
All right.
coming. I'm Gannon, a.k.a. the Domesticated Caveman, and I've got Jared here with me. I think they call him Sir Dork, right, man?
Yeah.
Something like
Hey,
that.
thanks for having me on. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Yeah. I'm Jared,
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
aka Sir Dork. I'm happy to be here. Got some fun stuff to talk about today.
Right on. Glad you made it back from Canada, dude.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's always fun. We go up every so often. My girlfriend's family's up there. Um Lake Ontario is really close by, so I go there and do some shots while I'm there. I did some fun ones just the other day. It was a great time.
Right on. Right on. Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to get this thing started, dude. No reason to hesitate.
All right,
Um,
let's go.
let's talk about the T13 fad or future. I mean, where do you see this whole thing going with T13 and the pop together figures? What's your take on it, man?
Um, I personally I enjoy the T13s, which are super cheap, sometimes 3D printed action figures. You can get them for like $1. They're just kind of faceless little guys. But I think they are more of a representation of kind of the future. So I don't know about T13 being like a fad or a future, but so many people can just 3D print them and then you've got your own little thing. And I see them growing and evolving more and more. And I think that is just kind of a representation of that style of thing, like you making your own figure or making your own figure cheap so you can sell it for cheap so other people can get it super cheap, like cheap. And every time I go on like AliExpress to go look for them, there's always like some new variation or something weird that someone else has created or whatever. And that's what I like about them. And I think the reason why people really watch when I make videos about them is because they're cheap. They're just so cheap.
I was gonna say it's insane. Like every time you do a T13 video, man, like the other day, I don't know, there was like 200 some people. At one point in time, you had almost 200 people in there watching that video.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And that's why I continue to do them. Like I personally really enjoy them, but the reason why I keep doing them is because people watch them more than anything. Like if I look at my YouTube analytics, there are videos I put out maybe 2 years ago that are getting more views than ones I just put out last week. They're just like every day they're getting hundreds. And it's
Yeah,
just like I need to do more of these. I'm stupid for not doing more. I need to clearly I need to do more of these. And I
right.
still enjoy them anyway. So they're
That's
they're
awesome,
definitely
man.
they're definitely they're pretty fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. I need you to teach me how to look at analytics the right way. But anyway,
Yeah.
I digress. Oh man. So next topic, another thing I know that's near and dear to your heart, Blokees, man. Um, I want to hear about Blokees and what you think makes them so exciting right now for people, including myself. I've become a Blokees head. And how did you get into all that? And tell me about it.
Um, yeah, well, I think Blokees is a great company, and I've been working with them for the past around 2 years or so, and I honestly wasn't super crazy into them at first, mostly because I think when I first learned about them, they were mostly just Transformers, and I'm not a huge Transformer guy, so I wasn't that kind of thing didn't really turn me on too much, but at New York Toy Fair 2024. Oh no, 2025. So it wasn't that long ago, 2025. They invited me, hey, come to the booth. We have like a free gift for you. I'm like, okay, cool. I have an appointment at a toy booth. Like they want me to come. So they gave me a little box of the Transformer Defenders, and they're like, hey, we'd love if you make a video. No, no posting requirements, but hey, we would love it. And I was like, you know what, sure. I'll do it. And each one of them individually is very cheap. So when I made the video, labeling it as like a $3 little figure, it got a lot of views. A lot of people checked it out. And I think that's initially like, oh, affordable things that are
Mhm.
actually really cool. I'm in. And that's a lot of people will tune in for that. And then after that, I while I was at Toy Fair, I met some people at Blokees. I got some business cards, and I reached out to one of them, and I had like a whole kind of like idea. I was like, so the video I did got like 300,000 views. Like that's so good. And I'd love to do more of them. If you're interested in, maybe we can work out like a deal where, you get like
Yeah.
this many videos for this much, and I'm giving like dollar amounts. Like we can do a whole year long video every month for X amount. And he was like into it. He's like, okay. Actually, no, it was his idea. I said I could do some videos sometime. He's like,
Yeah.
what if we do one like every month for the whole year? Would you give us a discount? And I was like, okay, yeah. So I gave him like bunch of stuff, and we signed something. And so
Yeah.
ever since
That's
then,
a great peek behind the curtain right there, dude. That's great story, man.
it was really cool. It was really cool, and it was one of the first real kind of video deals like that I've ever done, and it's definitely the longest one. I've never, like, 12 video like deal is a lot.
Mhm.
But the reason why I really like them besides that is they seem to be so aware of all the other toys out there, and
Yeah.
there, or no, all the other toy options that people like us have. And so it seems like they're doing everything they can to keep the price below everybody else. Then the
Right
price
on.
is very much below everybody else. It's not necessarily at the same quality, like you get the Blockies
Mhm.
like Wolverine. It's not the
Yeah.
same as like a Marvel Legends Wolverine, for
Mm.
some people might prefer it, but it's not quite the same. It's not the same quality, but it's certainly the value is there for the money, and it's very
Value for the
attractive for
money.
that, for sure. And they really care about their community to the point where they have fully dedicated areas at their toy fair presentations for custom builders that nobody else, like, I went to all the other booths at Toy Fair. Nobody else had a whole section for their community and
Yeah.
customs. Blockies did, and they care. And like they invited me to go to Shanghai to be a part of this thing, and they were going to pay for my flight and all of that, which was amazing. And I was ready to go, but
You got a
we have.
trophy out of that deal, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I didn't go only because getting a Chinese visa to visit takes a
Mhm.
little bit longer than expected. But now I have a 10-year visa to go to China whenever I need to. So it just got approved,
I have a feeling you'll
after.
be spending some time over there, man. So,
Well, apparently next year is on the table, but they just seem to be a company of the future. I could just seeing what
yeah.
they're doing. I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more growth and a lot more stuff going on with them, because they just seem to be really smart and aware, very very very
Well,
aware.
that's great. That's good to hear. That's always good to work for people like that. So I'm glad that.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
fan.
Good. Good deal. Cool. All right. Well, that's why Blockies, in case anybody was wondering.
All right.
All right. So I've kind of kept these first three questions pretty. I know these are all near and dear to your heart. So, I wanted to go
Cool.
easy on you for a few here. So let's talk about Godzilla, but in particular, I mean, because we've talked about the figs so many times. I mean, everybody's talked about the figs at this point a whole bunch. My question is, what do you think of the movies?
Well, Godzilla's a pretty new love for me.
Yeah.
Like, I've always like I've seen out everything that came out. I've always been like aware and like, oh yeah, Godzilla's fine. But
Mhm.
I think it was 2023 when, or maybe 2024, when both Godzilla X Kong and Godzilla Minus One came out. Within a couple months of each other,
Mhm.
and I saw both of them and loved them both for such very hugely different reasons. And I'm so aware of the Godzilla action figure, massive behemoth world that's out there. And I'm like, I loved both of these movies. And there's so much toy potential out there for Godzilla. Why do I
Mhm.
not love Godzilla? This makes no sense. So I just, something clicked for me, and
Mhm.
I was like, I need to just like consume more Godzilla. And I just had a bunch of binges of watching old ones, new ones, and getting new action figures and that kind of thing. And it's just become one of my favorite things. And
That's
the
awesome.
fact that there's just so much out there as far as Godzilla action figures makes me, it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
And there's just so many different things. And it's so cool to think that, like, Godzilla was 1954. Like
54 was the first movie,
54.
man.
And if you watch that movie, it's like this was made in 1954. It looks and
And
it's like really cool. It's like a great movie. And the
not many things changed about Godzilla for 30 years after that, the way they filmed it or
yeah.
anything.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
you know?
And it's certainly like it's fun to watch the older ones, whether it's 70s or 90s or any of
Mhm.
that. Because there's they build all of these miniature things. If you're a fan of action figures,
Yeah,
it's not quite as small as this, but it's still a
yeah,
miniature city. It's all mini stuff. It's right up our alley with
yeah, it
collecting and
fits.
dioramas. It's just on a bigger scale. And they're just fun to watch. Sometimes the older ones, like the story and that kind of thing, are not necessarily as compelling, at least to me. But when you're seeing Godzilla and he's
Yeah.
out there, then you just can't take your eyes off the screen. It's just like, wow,
Yep.
it's
I
so
just
cool.
caught Godzilla versus Destroyer the
Oh,
other
see, that's
night.
one I haven't watched.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
one I haven't
supposedly
watched.
one of the really good. I liked it. It's one of the
Cool.
ones they say is the good ones. So yeah. So if you get
Yeah,
a
that's
chance to check
one
it
I know,
out.
and I know him. I've seen so many action figures of him. It's just like, oh, that's
Yeah.
one of those ones I still haven't watched yet, and that's exciting to me. You see the action figure, and you're like, oh, I gotta watch that one, and then you
Yep,
go watch it. But
for sure.
I think my favorite movie is still Godzilla minus one. That one is it's so good, and like
Yeah,
I totally just cried like a baby in
yeah.
that movie. Like it really is so good. But I think my favorite like Godzilla version of the man himself is like the Heisei one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's in like the Biolante one. And like that, it's such a cute look to
Hmm.
him. Like he looks like he's got like kind of a cat face.
Almost cat-like. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I just really like him, and so, like, the Haya, like, I think it's 1991 that came out,
Hmm.
action
Yeah,
figure
yeah. I'm gonna say it
is
was like 91. Yeah.
yeah, that's, like, my favorite Godzilla
Yeah.
figure, the Haya Toys one.
Well, Godzilla, man,
Yeah,
he
what's your
is
favorite Godzilla?
mine right now. Oh, probably. I think I have the. Is it the -1 from the? It's the more modern one. I only have two of them right now, and I've got the, as my wife calls it, the booby chicken, which
Yeah,
with the
the
with
the
the
the Ghidorah?
three-headed Ghidorah. There you go. See, I know less about Godzilla
No,
than anything else that we're talking
it's
about.
because
So
I know exactly what you're talking about with the
yeah,
boobies.
yeah. The booby
Yeah,
chicken, she
I
calls it
think
all the time.
Nadia made the same comment about that one when I opened it up. He's like, "He has
It's sitting
boobs."
out on my. I've got a landing out here upstairs, and it's sitting there with its wings spread up on a shelf up high. And she's like, "The booby chicken, seriously?" Every time I come up the stairs, the thing's looking at me.
It's a great figure, though.
Yeah, it's a great figure. Anyway, all
Cool.
right. So this is one that we'll have some fun with right here because I really like to shoot indoors. I know you really like to shoot outdoors. So you explain to me why you like shooting outdoors so much, and then I'll tell you why I like shooting indoors.
Okay.
How's that?
Well, I definitely have grown to love both, but it took me a really long time to get used to shooting indoor because I
Mhm,
everything was always outdoor for me. And I think the reason why I started is just because everything you go outside and everything's already out there for you. Your
mhm.
diorama is there. It's just the woods. It's there it is. There's your diorama. It's free. And like
Yeah.
your lighting is free. The sun.
Yeah.
And so it's so approachable for anyone who just wants to go and start toy photography. You just do it.
Mhm,
You go outside and do it. And like, you take some stormtroopers, you bring them outside, you set them up, and it's cool. It's like, wow, this is like
mhm,
it's like indoor or like it's such a cool kind of feeling, especially for the first time you do it. So that was kind of my start to it all, just going outside
mhm.
and
Lighting your stormtroopers on fire and
yeah,
shooting
and plus
fireworks at them.
you can't do that inside either. I mean, you guess you can, but it's not
Yeah, it'd be
recommended.
bad. So,
But
not recommended to children.
so there's plenty of times where outdoor is the best, but there's just as many instances where doing it indoor
Mhm.
is also best. So it
Yeah.
took me a while to kind of get used to that and kind of get used to like being in control with the lighting. Like, oh, I have to put the light there. Like I just the sun, it's
Mhm.
not just the sun, and that was really tough for me to do that. And I think it just takes practice, at least for me. But
Yeah.
still, outdoor is always going to be the best for me. Always, I think it's so much more fun. I enjoy it, and I still, I think, struggle to make things feel big and like epic or something inside. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. No.
yeah,
It's for me, it's a different reason. Number one, coming from a studio shooting background, I mean, like, it's just easier for me to control the light because
totally.
that we it was funny. We were having a one light challenge one time in a collab, and a guy said, "Well, I shoot outside, so I only use one light all the time." We're like, "That's kind of cheating, man." But made sense. It's one light. But yeah, and I think the biggest complaint I have about it is I live in Texas. And I don't know if you know anything about Texas, but it's freaking hot out
It's
there,
hot.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's tough.
Yeah. Your
Yeah,
your legs
I
get
don't think.
gummy and stuff.
Yeah, I imagine you go out there and like, the looseness of the joints like just happens automatically because it's so hot.
It's
Like I have been out in the heat here before
yeah.
and the joints start getting loose, but I'm like, man, it
Mhm.
must be so much worse over
Yeah.
there for sure.
We used to always say it's because 'cause we're closer to the equator. I don't think that's it, though. I think it's just Texas hot here all the time, so
It's just something about Texas. The one thing about outdoor that I don't know if it's necessarily true, but it works really well for like video content. I feel like,
Mhm.
um, and maybe this isn't necessarily true or not, but I feel like when you're scrolling and you see like a video of somebody outside doing something with toys and there's
Yeah.
I feel like there's something more that builds more intrigue for a viewer just being like, like especially for like short form content. Like I feel like those
Mhm.
have more of a interesting kind of
Yeah.
hook about than if I'm just setting up something indoors. But that's not always true. Sometimes, indoor, Instagram reels, whatever, do great.
Mhm.
Do great. But I feel
Yeah,
like
it's
the
like
outdoor ones do.
Cole is a perfect example of that. Cohen, he does all
Yeah.
this stuff out in his garden outside, and I mean, look at that dude, man. I mean, he is just putting all kinds of stuff out, and it's beautiful work.
Yeah.
So
He's doing so good. I'm so proud of him. He's doing so good.
yeah,
He's doing
yeah,
so good.
he's a good dude too. So
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're talking about Cole's Cave in case you guys out there didn't know, but
Yeah.
they probably already knew that. Um, cool. All right. Well, indoor versus outdoor. There we go. Um,
Ah,
switching it up here. Here's a good one. Best Batman, and I'm not talking about the figures. I'm talking about the actor or the series or whatever. Who's your favorite, man?
it's Ben Affleck, and it's
Dang
not
it,
even close.
you stole mine, dude. I
It's
thought
not
I
even
was
close.
going to surprise you with that. So
All right. Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a Batman movie that I didn't like. I grew up with Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer was my Batman. Batman Forever. I remember like my having a birthday party as a kid, and like I got like the Batmobile. Someone gave me the Batmobile, the
mhm.
Batman Forever, and I was like, "That's so cool." And so Val Kilmer and George Clooney too, just Joel Schumacher. I grew that was Batman to me as a kid,
Yeah.
but I so love Batman versus Superman, and just the whole Zack Snyder trilogy is really near
Mhm.
and dear to me. But I think Ben Affleck as Batman is just so good, and I also as Bruce Wayne, I love the kind of old and bitter, irritated Bruce Wayne that he is, just kind of like
Mhm.
phoning in just so he can get back home and kick ass.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I also get a lot of the criticisms about why people don't, and I think like because a lot of people really didn't like those movies. Most people didn't, and that's why that universe doesn't exist anymore. Um, so I get those criticisms, but
All of
he's the
those
best.
movies made money. Every
Yeah, they
single one of
did.
them.
Yeah, they definitely did. But I
Yeah.
think well, and those first 3 definitely did. And then, like, the
Mhm.
last, like, handful of DCEU movies, like the last Aquaman and, like, Blue Beetle, the Shazam, those all just, like, just people just
Yeah.
stopped caring, and I get it. I get it, but,
Yeah. That's
yeah,
a
Ben
shame.
Affleck.
It's a shame.
The warehouse scene is just
Mhm.
to this day, is just So good. And I'll just be scrolling on like TikTok or something. And every once in a while, that scene will come up and the caption will be like, "This scene is goated," or something. And
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Yeah." And I'll watch it. And I'm like, "Ah, I'm gonna watch it again." It's
Yeah.
so it's so incredibly well
That
done. But
movie
yeah.
gets so much unfair criticism, man. Like, I'm with you. First off, like, I loved the take. Everybody wanted, like, they always want the same Superman. They want the guy that's smiley and happy and, and not the guy. And I kind of always envisioned Superman as somebody that's got the weight of the world on their back, man. It's like,
Yeah.
this is,
Yeah.
and it's just, so I thought him and Batman would have more in common with bad attitude than, happy-go-lucky Superman and angry Batman all the time. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
boring.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And if you ever watch, because Zack Snyder was on Joe Rogan once, and
Mhm.
I listened to that, and it was really good because he kind of explains like, it's not that Batman and Superman are making these decisions to, because Superman kills Zod at the end of Man of Steel,
Yeah.
and this they don't like, but it's not that there are this version. It's just this is what happens if Batman is put into this impossible situation, or
Yeah.
Superman is put into this impossible situation, and really
Mhm.
he's trying to challenge that idea, and
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. I think it's interesting, and again, I get why people don't. I really do, but
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
I think the best origin story out of all of them goes to Bale. I think, that for a trilogy, that's probably my favorite trilogy. But I think Affleck played the best Bat and Bruce Wayne, which I think one
Yeah.
of the other actors all did great at one or the other.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah,
that's just me.
definitely.
That's just me.
Yeah. Oh man. Would have been so
Anyway,
great if we got that solo Batfleck movie, which that
I
never
want it.
happened with
I
Deathstroke.
want it,
Man,
dude. Yeah,
that would have
I
been
bet you
great.
Ben would do it.
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
Ben, if you're out there watching, we want you to make the movie, man.
Yeah, we do.
We always say that. We've got a running J-Lo joke too, because we always say something and then we'll be like, unless you're like those J-Lo movies, and I'm sorry, J-Lo, in case you're watching, we apologies.
You never
We
know.
really do. We really
She could be watching.
right. So you never know. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, especially because I know you are a perfect person to talk to about this. It's new guy comes in, they're just getting involved with Instagram. They're into their toys. Tell me why the community matters so much to you and how you think that's important for new artists.
I mean, it's like nothing feels better than like doing something that you're proud of, and getting like support on it, and people like saying good job.
Mhm.
Like I like that's huge. That's so huge, especially something like toy photography. Because if you're a toy photographer and you do this, chances are you probably don't really know anyone or a lot of people who also do it in person. Like, do you have
Mhm.
any real life friends that go out and do toy photos? I do have one friend, but he
Yeah.
doesn't do it so much anymore. But like for the most part, I'm always just this is just kind of a thing I got into myself,
Yeah.
and I had to find others online that also do it. And it's a great feeling when you find that, because yeah, chances are you don't have a lot of IRL friends that also do toy photography. So it's really great finding that community to build off of, and you learn from it. And I certainly would. I've learned so much from others. Starting out, and it's all the time. I'm constantly
Yeah.
learning. So you have to kind of be open to things if you want to get better and learn. So it's hugely important, and it's just like what's better than just having people to share what you love.
Yeah. Absolutely. You nailed that on the head. For me, it's it was a place where I met people with similar. I learned a lot from people. That's the thing
Yeah.
that I think I enjoy the most about the community is I came in, I was like, hey, what's up? It's all the nerds. They're like me. Cool. There's toy
Yeah. Yeah.
collectors, but it was what I learned by watching people and hearing people, and the comments that were made. And also I think that this is one of the kindest groups of people when it comes to content creators, community. The gatekeeping. You don't see a lot of gatekeeping. especially at the lower levels. I think the further you get up, you can kind of run into some of that stuff. But like the gatekeeping, when you first get involved in the community, everybody's really kind and pleasant, willing to help.
You're so right. You're so right. And I think it's a lot of it is because we're all so happy to have each other. You know, it's
Mhm.
just like some people come into a community and it's just so full of whatever already. And
Mhm.
toy photography is kind of like, I don't know, you all kind of have the same goal and you're just enjoying yourselves, and it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just nice to have each other, and I think everyone kind of gets that, and so
Yeah.
we just get excited to share and to build off of versus feeling apprehensive about
Yeah. And it's toys for the love of God, right? We're supposed to have fun. So
it.
that's the whole
Right.
point of it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh man.
It's the best. It's the
Yeah.
best.
Well, it goes anybody out there. If you ever have any questions, you know where to find me. Just hit me up. I'll
Same.
get to you.
Me too.
Promise. Yep. I know Jared's the same way. So, um, most influential toy company for you, something that changed the game for you as you were coming up through this.
Um, well, certainly everything really did, but I feel like when I first got started, I was kind of all over the place. I was collecting a lot of Power Rangers and I was collecting like Dragon Ball Z,
Mhm.
and I think it was around like the 2015 mark when like The Force Awakens came out.
Mm.
And that was a huge moment for everybody, I think, for a lot of people and in toy photography and toys and stuff in general. And when that, people were getting excited about Star Wars again, and people were getting
Mhm.
excited about Star Wars toys again. And no, the Black Series was pretty new, but not, there was like a handful of waves. It wasn't a couple of years old. It was maybe like a year or 2 years old, Black Series. Um, and I think that was huge, and a lot of people started getting into it. It was huge for me, for sure. Like, I was like, "I'm full in on Star Wars. I wanna go back and get everything I possibly can." And, it was also new for Star Wars in the 6-inch world too, because
Yeah.
it really wasn't, at all for so long. It was the 3 and 3/4 inch.
Vintage.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and so I think that as far as, like, me and the people around me when I was also starting, that was a hugely influential moment, was The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And the figures too. Like, they had the Force Friday. I remember it was like I stood in line at Target because I wanted to get a stormtrooper. It would be my first
Mhm.
Black Series stormtrooper, and I get to the aisle and it's completely cleaned out. They didn't have nearly enough for anybody. It was
Yeah.
really bad, but eventually I got one.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
really cool.
Cool.
That's what I'm thinking. What about you?
Um, so I just found mine about 3 or 4 months ago. In fact, it's the only video I've ever done on, um, the YouTubes that actually got like, yeah, they got like 15,000 views on it,
Oh,
you know? And it
okay,
was
which
like
one?
one of my break it's Joy Toy. It's Warhammer.
Oh,
So
okay.
it
Yeah,
it it
yeah.
sucked me in, dude, hardcore, and it's because it's this massive universe of this really cool stuff, and it is, like, the highest quality figures I've ever seen for the size they are. It's insane, man. Like, they
Wow.
are so good, and I don't know, but,
I
that's
have
what it
been
was for
starting
me.
to see Joy Toy more and more. Like,
Mhm,
when we were in Canada, I went to EB Games and they had a bunch of Joy Toy, and I was like, "Wow, this is like
mm,
GameStop basically, but they've got Joy Toy here.
yeah,
That's amazing." And I really frequently see comments on my videos like Joy Toy, Joy Toy, Joy Toy,
yeah,
and it's hard for me to personally get
mhm,
interested in it because, to be
yeah,
honest, I don't have a whole lot of interest. I
mhm.
think because of them being a smaller scale, and they're also the fact that it's Warhammer, and that's something I'm not necessarily super familiar with.
Run.
Um,
It's a huge rabbit hole, run. I mean, it's awesome. You'll love it, but run.
I'm sure, and the only real taste of it I got was on Amazon, on
Mhm.
Prime Video. They did like a little show called Level Up, or like
Oh, yeah, I saw
something.
that, yeah.
I don't remember what it was called, but it was some kind of like video game jargon, like Level Up. and
Yeah.
every episode was like a short episode about a different video game series, and
Mhm.
one of them was about Warhammer, and it was really freaking cool. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is like the best episode on here.
Yeah. Wait till Mr. Caval starts doing or Henry starts doing his thing. I'm you're just gonna have a
Yeah,
hard time resisting at that point.
I think once that happens and I see that, I'm probably gonna become a fan. I'm gonna be like, all right,
Yeah.
I like Warhammer now.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
it's good. It's good. I'm gonna do you the favor and not try and suck you into it because I got sucked into it, and now it's like a never-ending well of money going into Warhammer. So
Oh man. So like is it just been Joy Toy that you've been scooping up, or what else?
yeah, I did. I really I started watching. It was actually a Cavill interview where he was talking about the board game, like the actual tabletop game or whatever. So I went out and down the street here. They just opened one of those real Warhammer shops,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
and I bought a starter set of those things. And I was like, all right, I want to put one of these together and see if I can paint it. Just sit here and chill and watch TV. Holy jeez, man. First off, I had to get this magnifying glass because I'm old and had to smash my face on this magnifying glass and hold it up there. And I'm not kidding you, dude. These things are like this big.
Oh man,
And
that
how
sounds
those
tough.
guys do that, and they're airbrushing them and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't know
Crazy.
if I'm gonna do this. So
Hey, well, if you get really good at that, I'm
yeah.
sure painting an action figure that's 6 inches will be easy.
And it just so happens I think McFarlane actually makes an artist series of those that
They
are blank.
do. They do.
So
That's
yeah,
true.
that could be fun. Maybe I should start there.
Yeah.
Work my
And
way
just get
down.
smaller and smaller. Yeah, actually, that's not a
Yeah.
bad idea. That's like probably good practice.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's it for me right now, man. That's my jam. So, and of course, I just not to get off on action figure tangents, but I just had something that I completely forgot. That you ever get those pre-orders that come in? Of course you do. That it's like I don't even remember ordering this,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but then you open up, you're like, this is awesome.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's
So
such a great feeling.
today I got the Oni, the samurai uni, or however that's pronounced, that where it's the kind of the ghost samurai guy that's got the
Yeah,
big
yeah, yeah.
long hair and all that stuff, and
I think
he's rad.
I've seen him. What
Yeah.
what brand is the figure?
It was Medi Toys.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
rad.
So it's just like you forget you order it, and then you're like, "Whoa!" That's such
It's
a
like
nice
a year ago.
surprise.
Gotta
Because
have
like
this, man.
there's always the pre-orders that like you're looking forward to, and you
Yeah.
can't wait, and you're waiting and waiting, and those are great. But then like some of them just kind of sneak up on you, and you're like, "Oh, right, I forgot." So
Completely forgot about
those,
this.
yeah, those are fun. Those are fun. And it's
That's
usually
funny.
the ones that take a while. Usually Mezco
Mhm.
is that way for me. I'll pre-order a Mezco, and like a trillion years later, I'm like, oh my god, wow, right, cool.
Yep, that happens, dude. That happens. But anyway, all right. So, you're plugged in with the industry. What's up, man? What's coming down the pipe? Tell us something, man. You got any see any big trends coming, or you just got any guesses?
I don't. Well, I wouldn't say I'm super plugged into the industry. I mean, I say stuff all the time in a video, and everybody in the comments section corrects me because they're right, and it's true. But one thing that I think, just by looking, like what's the trend and what's going up, I'm I'm feeling like the whole third party indie figure brand that's what we're going to be seeing more of, more and more.
Mhm.
And a lot of them I think will be, probably ripping people off. I think there's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of that. Like the whole mess toys and CT toys thing is kind of incredible, and the interest in that is so huge. People are
Yeah.
so interested in the mess toys and the CT toys. And like
Yeah.
if you see the amount of sales that they're doing, like when they so mess toys and CT, like you they've kind of moved over to their own website, but
Mhm.
on AliExpress, that's where they were doing everything before. And you would look and be like 900 sold. Like, wow,
Yeah.
they're really selling a lot of these, and they must clearly be doing well because they have so much coming down. And that's kind of an example of one thing, but a lot of them are too, I think, will be like indie creator like brands,
Yeah.
like these small brands like DB Toys, 6-inch Studio, We Heart Toys. It's just like there's so many of these little, and I think a lot of the resources are becoming more and more available to people, like,
Mhm.
sculpting online and 3D printing and that kind of thing. And I think it's just there's going to be so many more of these types of indie smaller brands putting out stuff. Like if you go to like the Toys Metaverse and 5K Toys, you'll just there's so many of them, and I feel like there's just more and more and more constantly. I think we're going to be seeing more of that, and I think it's good because I think it's bringing competition
Yeah.
in. And I this whole thing with the Mess Toys, CT Toys, and the bootlegs, I feel like we're going to be seeing more like, I don't want to say if they're third party because I still think they're bootlegs, but they're kind of like a step above in between.
Yeah, I know what
um
you're saying.
and I think we're gonna
Unlicensed.
see, yeah,
Yeah.
unlicensed.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we're gonna be seeing more brands like that pop up, making their own things that are kind of ripping people off, but there's something in between and doing their own thing. I
Mhm.
think that's what we'll see more of those because it's huge.
I'd like to see some fill in that middle tier because there is, I think, a gap that stops at about $45, and then everything after that, you start to get into the $100 range for
Yeah,
everything after that. And so,
yeah.
you know, but
uh,
yeah,
That's
man.
my guess. I think we'll see it.
No. All right,
What
cool.
What about you though? Because this is kind of a fun,
Yeah, I like this
fun
topic.
topic.
I've got all kinds of buddies right now that, like, since I've gotten into this racket of toy photography, that all of them want to create their own action figure lines. Right? That's a really, I think that's like, I think where you guys like you and me think, like, hey, I think it'd be cool to have 1 million followers on YouTube and put up a popular show and talk to people about all the stuff that these guys are doing. Those guys kind of want to make the stuff that we're talking about, you know and so that's the divergent path of that I see toy people get into.
Yeah,
And and so the trends I'm seeing, I thought it was going to be vehicles for a little while because everybody and their grandmother was going to put some vehicles out there for a while. I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
have
yeah,
shelf space for it, but
yeah. There has been a lot of those.
yeah. I and of course I thought the dinosaur thing was going to be quick. That's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
you know
that's dinosaurs are evergreen.
yeah,
They've been
that's
around 80 million years, and
yeah.
they're still getting bigger and bigger. Everybody loves dinosaurs. Everybody knows dinosaurs.
I think like companies like Big Bad Toy Store with their their lines that they're doing like Monster Force and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could
yeah,
see those things becoming bigger and more popular because what you get for the money and the quality that you get
yeah,
and the diversity, I think that could become a thing. So
yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, because they don't have to worry about the licensing IP
right.
stuff. They just do good stuff.
And the
Yeah.
distribution can't be too hard for them either. So
Right. Yeah,
that
yeah.
part figured out. So
Yeah, that's
anyway.
exciting. There's so many different avenues
Mhm.
for these things to pop up.
Yeah, well, I'm just excited. I just like to sit back and take it as it comes because it's man, life is long, guys. Sit back and enjoy things, and eventually, the thing that you're looking for will show up someplace. I promise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, yeah, yeah, exactly.
I like
Somebody was
that.
talking about they wanted McDonald's action figures like Ronald McDonald and all them, and I think I just heard they're going to release
NECA's
those.
NECA's doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they had, I think Grimace was the only one they had, but, like, at Toy Fair, they had one figure. I don't know if it was Ronald, but they're doing the whole line. They're doing all of them,
Mhm. That's
and
cool.
I like it, and I'm like, "Okay, well, now I want the Burger King guy, and I want, Wendy." I don't know
Right?
what
To go with Chester Cheeto and Count
Yeah,
Chocula and Tony the Tiger and
I want all those.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. That is good stuff. Um, all right. So
Um,
collect or create. Would you I'll make this one kind of fun. Which would you stop first? Would you rather keep collecting stuff even if you weren't creating, or would you know what I mean? Would you just be happy creating all the time with the things that you have?
you know what? I haven't really thought about this in a while, but I think, if I had to choose, I might choose create. I
Mhm.
might choose create because, like, this probably will come from this is coming from a place of being super fortunate and super privileged because my job is action figures.
Mhm.
And I open up a lot of action figures and it's awesome and I love it so much. And sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's almost too much.
Yeah.
But every so often, like, because I'm constantly trying to create videos and things with the new figure that's out, and it's a very rare instance where I'll take an old figure and I'll go and shoot it. And I've been doing that more and more, and shooting a figure I've only shot once, and like this is I'm shooting this figure a second time, and
Yeah.
it's been really refreshing and enjoyable for me. Like, just this photo isn't from a video; it's just a photo I took. And it's like,
That's awesome.
"Whoa, that's crazy." And I've been doing that more and more, and it's been really, really nice and refreshing. And,
Mhm.
I could say create now and then stop collecting or something, and then one day I'll be like, "I wish I chose collect.
Mhm.
I missed it."
Yeah, it's a catch for sure. Um, I I have to be completely honest with you, and I mean, you are a toy guy, and I just started getting into toys. Like
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
always been into toys, but started really like getting into photographing, and that kind of turned me into a collector.
Yeah.
But for me, I've always said, like, if my choice was collecting or creating, I'm gonna pick creating all day long because I'm gonna just throw my camera over. If toys ceased to exist tomorrow and there were no toys out there, I'd still grab my camera and go find something to take pictures of.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
that's where I come from on that. So,
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people would think would choose that for sure.
yeah,
One thing about collecting that it's collecting costs more. You have to
yeah.
physically buy the stuff and you have to find a place for it, and you got to deal with that. So there's some baggage there.
Well, and there's so
Just
many other there's a lot of creative avenues too, right? Like nobody's saying you just have to take pictures. I mean, I like to write, so I'm a voracious writer. I write all the time, and
wow, cool.
it's one of those things. Yeah, like actually on this channel, I'm going to actually start producing kind of a narration series that I'm working on right now. So hopefully that'll be around here one of these days.
Wow,
But
okay, that's exciting. Cool. That I didn't know that, I feel
yeah.
like being a writer is it takes a lot of I don't know, intelligence with knowing words and it being able to get ideas from your head out there, and
Yeah.
sometimes that's hard when you're just talking, you gotta doing that. It's hard,
Yeah, no doubt. Obsidian. There's a program out there called Obsidian. I recommend it to everybody. You can use it in every form and shape of your life. It's an organizational chart, and it's great for everything that you do. So, it's
Okay.
wonderful. But anyway, check it out. It's called Obsidian. Um, anyway, last topic. Why
Why?
do we create? We've kind of talked about would we collect or create. Now we've kind of both said probably keep creating. So what is it that drives you in that, right?
Yeah. Well, it's the position that I'm in is certainly it's probably different than a lot of position other people might be in as far as toy photography, and I'm super fortunate and privileged to be able to be in this position. But I create for my job,
Mhm.
and I as much as I like to create just for myself or just for my own creative outlet, I have to think of that second because I have to make decisions that are for my business or whatever. Because
Mhm.
those decisions directly affect my everyday lifestyle because they pay my bills and that's how I get money to live. So, and it's
Feed the
tough
cats.
because exactly to feed the cats,
Yeah.
and so I have to make decisions that is what gets the most views first. I have to make that decision first, and it's not it's a very close second of my own creativity, but I have to make that decision first, and I'm totally okay with making that decision, and I'm not ever going to complain about it because it's a great position to be in.
Yeah.
Um, But so that's my number one is like I got to think of, what are people most interested in, and how can I deliver that the best way possible so people decide to click and watch. But the reason the reason why, or one of the most important things in getting people to watch, is my love and passion for it. And why? And because I love it, because I feel like any video I would were to create that is about something that I'm not passionate about is going to be far less interesting for anybody
Mhm.
to watch than something I am passionate about, because I'm going to have a reason to make it really good and really entertaining, besides just the fact that I need people to click on it. It's just the fact that I love this is a huge driving force to make this good and enjoyable content to watch or whatever. So it's a combination of, I should do this Spider-Man because people love Spider-Man, but I also do like Spider-Man, and if I kind of deliver it this way, I really enjoy it that way. So it's going to make everything better for everyone. So it's kind of like a combination of just straight my passion, and then I love it, and I also got to please the masses to hopefully get them to click on it and watch it.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Do you ever, so you've got two things sitting in your hands. You're like, okay, I've got, the new Gamerverse Spider-Man over here, right? And I've got the T13 sitting over here. Now, I'm going to guess that you probably are creatively going, I could do a lot with the Spider-Man figure. I like Spider-Man. I could do a lot with this. But the T13s might get more views, and I don't mind shooting them either, and I kind of enjoy those too. But do you ever just go, nah, forget it. I'm doing the Spider-Man anyway? I'm just curious.
No, totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And sometimes that has been a huge pleasant surprise. So
Mhm.
one of my biggest passions ever is, I love the movie Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
I have a huge place in my heart for that movie. I love Pacific Rim so much. And the first video I did on it was when the Ling Jihun figures
Mhm.
started coming out. And it was kind of a gamble to me because I had never done any content on Pacific Rim. I have also hadn't done any on like Godzilla really much yet. So I hadn't done much kaiju in general. And I was like, you know what? I don't think anybody's gonna watch this, but I'm just gonna do the video because I want to. I want to do this. I love
Mhm.
this. I want to do it. And it was a huge smash hit. Like
That's
I
awesome.
couldn't. I I discovered that a lot of people still really love and care about Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Like people love that. Like there's so much love for that movie out there.
I
And ever
yeah, I
since,
watched it because of you. I mean, I had
oh
kind of remembered it, but you
yeah,
were talking about it, and I went and caught it, and you were right. The first one's awesome. Second one's, meh, but
yeah,
yes, but great
yeah.
movies. So,
Cool. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, that had really paid off, and it doesn't always pay off, unfortunately, because
yeah.
like for instance, like I'm a huge fan of Pokemon. I'm a big
Mhm.
Pokemon is like a huge part of my life, and you wouldn't really know that just by watching my YouTube
Mhm.
or whatever. But every once in a while, I'll do a Pokemon
Yeah.
thing, and the those two communities are so close to each other, but they don't really overlap quite like I want them to. Like the people
Mhm.
who are really like there's plenty of Pokemon merchandise. There's unlimited amounts of it.
Right.
And toys too, but not quite in the same realm as the people interested in the articulated action figure space. Like they almost cross over, but they don't quite cross over.
Mhm.
So sometimes I'll do a video and they do surprisingly well. And then sometimes I'll do one and it doesn't. Like I did one recently on a big life-size Pikachu,
Yeah.
and, nobody watched it. Oh, okay, it
I
I don't
did.
want you watched it. Plenty of people watched it, and, like,
Yeah.
5,000 people watched it, which is
I didn't know what
amazing.
you were talking about the whole time, but I did. It was a good video. So,
Thank you for watching it, man. So yeah, it had like 5,000 has like 5,000 views, which,
mhm.
comparatively to what videos of mine usually do, that's very, very low. But
Yeah.
also at the same time, 5,000 is still a lot. I would have
Mhm.
given my whole everything for 5,000 views, when I first started, or a lot of
Yeah.
people would. And so I don't want to sound too spoiled or
Mhm.
whatever, but
Mhm.
that wasn't something that necessarily paid off. It was a risk that I took that didn't pay off. And if I had spent my time on something else on that video, Like that week, if I spent that time working on a Spider-Man or something,
Mhm.
it would have paid off, and I would have gotten more views, and I probably would have gotten, a little bit more money that month because of that. But,
Yeah.
I took the risk and it didn't get it, and that's okay. So it's
Yeah.
just like there's some risk involved, and sometimes it pays
Yeah.
off, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay. Great. That's awesome. Well, I've got one bonus question for you.
Ooh, okay, cool.
I've been curious about this, and at what point, you're cooking along, you got your job, you're doing your real life work, and all of a sudden this hobby starts creeping, and it's creeping, and it's creeping, and it's creeping. And you're like, I mean, because I'm sure it took a lot of, because I'd probably be one of those dudes that's like, I'll just make $20,000 less. I'm gonna go do that full time. Or were you disciplined enough to wait till it leveled out or even surpassed a little bit and then went, no, I'm gonna go do this full time? And how hard was that to get rid of the other half of the money when you had it all coming in?
Well, there was certainly a moment, in which I learned that I can do this full time.
Mhm.
I can't do it yet, but I if I keep doing what I'm doing, I think I can get myself there. And so once I kind of learned that I could do that, I definitely stepped on the gas a little bit more and
Mhm.
tried doing more. And then my mindset changed too about the decision making of, oh, I shouldn't do a Star Wars because people aren't as into it right now. But people are really into Spider-Man, so I'll do the Spider-Man instead. So those kinds of decisions started happening, in my head and that kind of thing. And that was around when I started doing less toy photography videos and did more action figure videos that had toy photography in them, because people care more about the IP and the toys more than the toy photography in a general sense. The general audience, the general amount of people care more. So I stopped focusing on toy photography videos and I started focusing on toy videos and then adding toy photography into them. The thumbnail and the main kind of headline of the video is toy related, but I still squeeze the toy photography in there. And so
Yeah.
I started doing that, and then it started to grow a lot more, just learning about the right decisions to make to appeal to the masses instead of just the toy community. Toy community is amazing, but I have to learn to think bigger than that to get more people to watch, because the toy community is only so big, and it's probably not big enough to build a whole career out of people watching it.
Yeah.
So you got to think about the moms and the grandmas and the dude that's only seen one Star War, but the videos, you got to think about those people.
Yeah.
Um, and so eventually I was like, okay, if I can get to where I'm making this much per month, then I can quit my job, because YouTube
Mhm.
pays per month. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm here right now, but if I can get to the point where I'm making
Yeah.
this much every month, then
Right.
I can quit. And it was very, very scary to ever come to the point where, like, okay, it's time for me to quit. But it actually kind of worked out really interestingly at my job, because there was some major rearranging
Mhm.
happening where they actually
Right.
had to take, that my department had four supervisors, but one supervisor had to be moved to a different department. This.
Mhm.
And so, my boss was very, very aware of, what I do, and, the toy stuff on the side. And
Yeah.
one day I would love to quit, she was great. And so she's like, well, all of this is happening soon. Somebody's going to have to move, but I know that you want to quit and do your YouTube full time. This might be that moment. Like, y-
Yeah.
if you want to resign, she respectfully encouraged me to quit, which is really interesting. If you want
Yeah.
to, resign now, this would be the time to do it. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I guess I'm doing it. And it was very scary to quit my job, but the one thing that was really a big contributor of, like, no, it's going to be okay, because I'm putting out this much right now with a full-time job. Imagine how much I can put out without, and
I
all of
think
my
about
time.
that all the time.
So
I
it's
think
like,
about that all the time, yeah.
yeah, and it was an irresistible kind of thought, and it made me think, like, if I can do this much, it's gonna only start going up and up and up, right? Like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
put all my time into this. So that was a big helper. So once I kind of hit that and I quit, and everything has kind of been great. There's been some moments where I was like, oh crap, this is tough. Is there really enough people out there in the world who want to watch? Like, did I reach everybody? No, there's more. No.
Yeah.
So um
Yeah.
yeah, it's been really, really good since then.
Cool. Do you keep a pretty business-like schedule? Are you disciplined? And you seem like
Yeah,
a pretty early in
sometimes.
the morning guy like me, because I'm kind of get up in the mornings. I don't sleep in. I get up and get stuff done. You kind of seem like that too.
Sometimes I do, but
Yeah.
every once in a while I'll sleep till, and I've been bad lately. I've been sleeping till like 9 or something, but
Yeah.
I gotta do it earlier. I gotta start
Yeah.
doing it earlier because I really do get more. So I'm so much more productive. But yeah, I definitely try to do a 9 to 5. Especially like it helps because like my girlfriend, for instance, she works 9 to 5, and so like when
Mhm.
she's done at 5, I'll be done at 5, and then we're done. And that
Yeah.
that certainly helps, and it helps too because the whole world kind of revolves around that. So I can just be I work during normal work hours. But the
Mhm.
thing that's the most difficult, and right now I'm kind of really in that moment, is when I have a full-time job, I can just, if I need time off, I can take PTO. I can take a day off,
Mhm.
and the show will go on without me. But
Yeah.
when I'm self-employed, and I'm the only person in this business, the show does
Mhm.
not go on. So I can't just take a day off and
Right.
expect the show to go on. So, if I need to take time off, I have to really prep, and do a lot of extra work,
Mhm.
to make sure I'm okay taking a week off so I can have extra videos to post or something. And the summer is just full of stuff because you got birthdays, graduations, and parties, and just tons of stuff always happening in the summer.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly trying to like double down and work a lot so I have, stuff to backlog and post while I'm away.
Yeah.
And
For all
that's
the
sometimes
great
it's tough.
things that there for all the great things that there are about working for yourself, there's a lot of things that people don't think about when you're doing that, and one of those is the
Yeah.
same amount of work has to get done no matter what.
No
And so
matter
if you
what.
wanna take a week off, that just means you're working extra the week before that, so,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's true. It's really, really,
absolutely.
it's true, but, slowly kinda getting better
Good,
at it. Slowly getting
good,
better at it.
good. Well, I wanna be respectful of your time, so I don't wanna take up too much of your time or any of that good stuff. I'm sure you
Uh,
probably got I appreciate you coming and doing this, dude. That
no,
was
no problem,
very
man.
nice of you, man.
I've been looking forward to it, and it's great to finally just sit down and talk, man.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, definitely, I'll take you up on. I'll ask you again sometime. Just nothing else, just to sit around and maybe, do something, just talk, hang out.
That
I
sounds
kind of
good.
like that. So, yeah,
Definitely, definitely, please do.
absolutely.
Please, it's the
Yeah,
least I can do.
yeah, man. Well, appreciate you, and tell Nadia and your mom and everybody I said hi, and tell them I'm not he's not a weirdo after all. He's all right. So,
I definitely will. I
all
definitely
right,
will.
man. All right, dude. Well, I'll let you get back after it.
I appreciate it, man. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks again for everything. You're the most like
Oh,
supportive dude ever.
that's
Tell
my
the wife
MO,
I said
man.
hey.
I will. I
Tell her I
will.
said I'm amazed you've somehow managed to go unscathed by the children.
Right, exactly. Exactly. That's great, man. Cool, dude.
All right, man.
So,
I'll talk to you soon.
all right, sounds good. Talk to you, Jared.
All righty. Bye bye.